Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Liv.
And this is the Mach-E vlog.
And today we are at the LA Auto Show. We are in front of the Fisker Ocean, an all-electric, zero-emissions SUV. So let's check it out.
Good morning. Please welcome Chief Executive Officer of Fisker Inc., Henrik Fisker.
Good morning, everybody. It's actually really great to see everybody in real life. I don't know about you guys, but I'm zoomed out.
So the production intent Fisker Ocean was released yesterday or announced yesterday. We were there at the unveiling. It's been talked about for a while. They've been, Fisker's been working on stuff for a while. They've had bankruptcy issues and whatnot. But right now, the plan is by November of next year, these will be delivered to customers. And they even said yesterday they think they may be able to beat that by a little bit. So could be next summer or next fall, we'll start seeing these on the road.
I'm going to say this, but things are going so well, so I think we can maybe deliver a few vehicles even before our official SOP.
So like Patrick said, we were fortunate enough to be at the grand unveiling. It was super exciting. And one of the things that they talked a lot about was sustainability and environmentalism. And that's something that's really present in this vehicle, both in the design and in the fact that they plan to recycle their leased vehicles after 12 years.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. I'm not actually sure how that's going to come about, but it's something that we talk to people a lot about. We talk to people at farmers markets and at solar events and messaging. It's like, what do we do with these batteries and what are we going to do with EVs down the line? So
and cars in general have recycling issues. So I thought it was a very cool thing that they were sort of thinking about that 12 years ahead of time or 13 years ahead of time. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. And as we learn more, we will share more. We'll update the description down below if we get any more information about that. But that's a really cool thing. And on that note, I'd like to talk about the leasing, which is also cool. So we'll go into some of the trim levels, but basically the base model is going to be available to be leased with no commitment for $379 a month.
Yeah, you have some initiation fees, but it's sort of, the cool part is like you could lease it for just a few months and then turn it back in.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't make sense doing that because I think it's like a couple $1,000s.
I think it's just under $3,000.
$3,000.
I mean, we'll look into it though. I think it's pretty interesting and I'm intrigued. And the thought that I could try this vehicle for like, let's say 3 months with no commitment is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We have no stake in this. We're obviously Mach-E people, but I'm always looking for my next vehicle. So I'm kind of excited about this. And there are a couple other reasons that we'll show you why now. So a couple of the things that stand out next to our Mach-E. Inside, we can't touch this model unfortunately, but inside there's a 17.1 inch screen and it actually rotates, which is super cool.
Not just the car, but the screen.
Interesting timing, but the screen itself rotates. I know it's kind of a divisive thing. Do you like landscape or portrait better? Like, what's your preference? In this vehicle, it doesn't matter. You get to pick that, which is pretty amazing. I don't know if there are any other vehicles on the market that do that. Not that this is on the market yet, but I think that's pretty cool. You can keep it going.
The other thing that's neat is like that last window on the car. On some trim levels, it's the doggy window, so you can actually roll that down and your dog can stick his head out or at least get some air back there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, it might be possible to roll that down anyways, but there's a special mode called California mode, which rolls down all the windows and the roof all at once. I'm not sure what the benefits of that are. We'll put the details down below up on the screen as well, but that's pretty cool. That's actually a useful little window for your doggies to get some air, or I guess you and your kids too. Something that we really love about the Mach-E is the vegan interior. This also has a vegan leather interior, but something else that's cool is that the carpets inside are made from recycled plastic and fishing nets. So there's a lot, like I said, about sustainability and environmentalism with this vehicle.
This is a luxury interior, and I think that's the exciting part, that we can use recycled materials and actually create a luxury vehicle.
As Liv mentioned, it starts at about $37,000, and that is for the base level trim. 0 to 60 in about 6.9 seconds. It's front wheel drive in that trim level, and the horsepower, let me double check, I think it's 275 horsepower at that trim level. It goes up, there's an Ultra and an Extreme. The Extreme, I believe, is $68,999. Of course, that one's all-wheel drive. The range on that is about 350 miles and 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, and produces over 500 horsepower. So one of the things that people ask us about the Mach-E a lot is, can it tow? The European version can. I think it's up to about 1,600 pounds. The US version cannot tow. This can tow up to 4,000 pounds. So that's pretty darn good for a vehicle in this segment. It also features bidirectional charging, which is basically you can charge the vehicle, or the vehicle can output power to another vehicle even, or like your house if you have it set up to receive power like that. So very cool feature, and great to see it on a vehicle. And as you know, that's something that's being featured on the F-150 Lightning. As with many EVs, the platform for the Fisker Ocean has the battery between the wheels underneath the subfloor. The motors and the dual motor version are between the front wheels and the rear wheels. So very common setup, and provides low center of gravity, meaning it'll probably handle very well, just like with a lot of other EVs. So one thing you'll see here are the dark blue modules, and what those are all the different parts for the advanced driver assistance system. And the Fisker Ocean, depending on what trim level you have, it can go up and have the full adaptive cruise control, 360 cameras, all the features that you come to expect in today's cars, and especially EVs. Well, that's the Fisker Ocean. What do you guys think? I know there's been a lot of delays with the Fisker Ocean, but I feel confident, or a little bit confident, that we'll actually see these on the road within a year.
I think it's actually really cool looking. I love the aesthetic of it. I think it's a beautiful SUV, which is my favorite vehicle body type. This paint job would be really fun, but I actually really like the two blues that they had on display. That sort of deeper blue, let's call it an infinite blue almost.
Almost, but it's matte. It's matte, so that's cool.
But it's matte. And then there's that ice blue, and I think you mentioned that Ford was going to be replacing one of the grays with an iced...
They're replacing infinite blue with the ice blue.
Which kind of reminds me of that lighter Fisker Ocean that we saw. So really kind of my favorite color range. I think they look great. I'm not sure if each trim has access to the solar option, but I think that's a really interesting potential that we don't have in the Mach-E.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can lease it, I'm super tempted. I don't know. What do you think? Should I? I should.
It's pretty cool. One of the reasons why that I was worried about the Fisker Ocean is that where do you get these serviced at? Supposedly they have some partnerships, so that even though that they don't have Fisker dealerships or anything like that throughout the country, they are going to have partnerships with repair centers that won't be Fisker branded, but they'll be Fisker certified. So I think that's a great compromise. They will have some showrooms throughout the US as well to have these on display. I think you should check it out, and let us know what you think.
I'm super intrigued by this. I'm super intrigued by the under $40,000 option, by the flexible leasing with no commitment. I feel like that's something that makes me more comfortable about the spending that much money. You don't have to. So maybe it's something that we'll do, and maybe we can test out what it's like owning something that has to get repaired, not at their shops.
Yeah.
Hopefully, before any of that happens, we could actually spend some time in one of these vehicles. I think it would be really interesting to compare this with the Mach-E and take it on a drive, literally compare it when I'm in my Fisker. Maybe.
That'll be fun. So anyways, we're going to check out some other EVs here at the LA Auto Show. Check out our channel. Subscribe if you want, of course, a lot of Mach-E content. But we are also going to check out some other EVs. So make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up on this one.
And whatever you drive, enjoy the ride.